Welcome to the Jennings Wire Online Magazine podcast series, where we feature interviews with top authors and experts. My name is Stacy Kaufman. I'm the radio director of Annie Jennings PR, the national firm behind the online feature magazine sensation, JenningsWire.com, a special community of bloggers and podcasters that is capturing the heart of America. There's nothing like it on the web, and we invite you to visit JenningsWire.com to discover the blogger that is just right for you. And today's guest is Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson, the best-selling author of Be Your Own Life Coach, How to Life Coach Yourself into What You Want. We'll be discussing how to create your own destiny, take control of what is yours, and learn how to make it happen for yourself. So welcome, Dr. Dionna.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very thankful for this opportunity.
Well, it's our pleasure. Now, I guess the first question that we have is, what does it mean to be your own life coach?
Well, you kind of mentioned it earlier. Life coaching yourself means to really take control of what's yours, to create your own destiny, to go beyond what it is that you feel you need to do to make your life happy and successful. I think sometimes life offers everyone the opportunity to, go after their dreams, but not everyone goes after them in the same way. So I feel that if you can go after your dreams with your passion, some waste no time achieving everything while others waste every day achieving nothing. Life has its ups and downs, but, if it knocks us off our journey, you just got to get back up and claim what's yours. It's achieving more than enough, and that is what life coaching yourself means.
Well, Dr. Dionna, I love that. That sounded great. Now, what do you think? You mentioned that some people can create the life that they want, but some people just don't. I mean, do you have any reason behind that? Why people don't? I mean, life is kind of laid out before us, and it's all about choices and making good choices, but sometimes people get stuck in the rut. And I think that's when the life coaching is needed and it comes into play. And so if someone is stuck in a rut that they've created for themselves, how can they get out of it? What's stopping them from creating the life they want, from being their own life coach?
Well, you have to determine what it is that you want out of life. You also have to determine, how do I go about changing my situation? I would say that for myself, let's start where for myself, I became my own life coach, and how I became my own life coach. All the things that I've been through in my life has gotten me to this point. I was poor, kidnapped, molested for years, physically abused, and homeless. All those things caused me to determine the fight in myself. And some people just don't know what is the fight in themselves. And you would think when you go through enough in your life, it automatically comes to you. But some people are just afraid of taking that chance on themselves. For me, I think taking on responsibilities to help my siblings since the age of 2 has caused me to be that bigger person, to figure things out, to think quick on my feet, to figure out solutions and strategies at a young age that I never thought I could do. I've always been handling a lot more than the average person, and I think it's because God chose me to be that person to excel and show others that they can do that. I've always had people holding high expectations over my head, and for myself, I also keep high expectations. I think going through the molestation really changed my life to where it made me want to find a new way out, and I wanted to just keep going forward until I found that. I guess opportunities to change my own life, and for me, I became obsessed with just trying to get an education, trying to figure out how to change these things. I thought that was the outlet for me, and I did it until I got the highest degree I can get. So for others, you just have to figure out, what is the fight in you? How can you change that? Where do I start today? Where do I say enough is enough?
I love that phrase, the fight in you. I think I'm going to write it down. I'm going to make a sign. It's going to be like one of those inspirational, motivational things. And it's going to say, find the fight in you. It's going to be like Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson, So
yes.
That's what really is sticking out to me in this conversation, is the fight in you. So you mentioned a couple of questions that you were saying people should be asking themselves. Could you say those again? Well, how do you determine what is the fight in you? Like you said, when enough is enough, what type of questions and inventory do you have to take to figure that out?
I feel like people have to take time to analyze their situation. You have to say, am I ready for change? If you're not ready for change, you cannot determine the fight in yourself. You have to be tired of being where you are, being stuck. You want to move from stuck and survival into success and happiness. And sometimes it just takes asking yourself, what do I want out of life? What is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to change? Becoming your own life coach is more about determining what is life for you, why you exist, how does that line up with what God wants for you when it comes to serving and helping others. It can start with defining what life means to you in order to take the steps towards life. Taking the real definition of life and applying it to your current situation. You have to know that. That means like understanding what your own meaning of life is. It starts with just digging deep to see how far is that fight. Some people are not ready to come out of that, so they get stuck with doing what it is they're doing currently and thinking, oh, one day it's going to get better. It doesn't get better until you make the changes yourself. You know, becoming your own life coach, starts with simple things to do. It's free, first of all. It can be done today, and it can be done right away by just writing down your goals, determining what you want out of life, determine when is enough.
Well, I love everything you're saying. It's like poetry, right? Seriously, I mean, this is really good information for our listeners. That yes, you do have to move forward to from stuck to success. I think that is really some great advice. Now, what tips can you share right now that people can do, let's say, after they're done listening to this podcast or while they're listening to this podcast wrap up? What tips practically can people put into action in their lives right now so that they can life coach themselves into what they want?
Well, I would first say start with getting a pen and a piece of paper. A lot of times people feel they need to start with the computer. We have the technology these days, and people just want to start writing everything down on the computer. Even for myself, when writing my books, I start with writing everything down. I don't do any quick methods online. I don't do any audio speaking. I do everything on paper because that's when I get in tune with my heart and what it is that I really want. And then when you're writing things down, you're able to reflect back on what you wrote instead of going back and opening up a document online or going back and listening to an audio recording. And I would say start there. I want to also tell people it's important to take a gamble on yourself when you want success and happiness. You have to take a bet on you. When you take a gamble or bet on yourself, what you produce to the world will always be fresh and original because it is your deliverance, your testimony, your skill set that sets you apart from anyone else. Think of it like this. There isn't two individuals walking this planet that are alike, right? So you cannot be caught up in not making moves in your life because of what you see others are doing in their life. What's for you is for you, and what's for them is for them. Create your own destiny, and you cannot go wrong with betting or gambling on yourself.
That is really great advice. So I know that you've done this. You've become your own life coach, and that our listeners can do the same. If they want to learn more, listeners want to learn more about Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson, you can at her website, Dr. Dionna Hancock-Johnson, and I will spell that for everybody. It's DRDIONNA, Dr. Dionna hancock-johnson.com. And she's being very generous, and you can receive a free audio copy of her best-selling book, Be Your Own Life Coach, How to Life Coach Yourself into What You Want. So, Dr. Dionna, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it and had a really good time.
Yes, I did too. Thank you so much, Stacy.
And this podcast is presented by Annie Jennings of the national publicity firm Annie Jennings PR, the creator of Jennings Wire Online magazine. Jennings Wire is capturing the heart of America with its rich community of talented, insightful, and relevant bloggers and podcasters, just like Dr. Dionna. So please visit JenningsWire.com and discover the blogger that is just right for you. Till next time.